Ever since Ardem was introduced to me, I couldn't help but to fall in love with its environment and its overall aesthetic appeal. The world in Ardem is truly astonishing in my opinion. In fact, the last time I was drawn to the game's environment was right when Days Gone was announced or it came out, and ever since then I just never had another game that made me feel or relate to Days Gone. Of course not until Ardem was in a playtest. Keep in mind I'm referring to survival games only. Ghost of Tsushima is perfect when it comes to the visual aspect of things, right? But it's not a survival game, so I will have to leave that one out respectfully. Ardem, on the other hand, is far from being finished and it's still undergoing some major developments, but nonetheless, even though the game is far from being perfect, there are already things in the game that glow when experienced, and especially when it comes to the visual things. So with that being said, here are my top favorite things so far about Ardem that I think you should know, especially if you want to try it. At number 1, we have the character movement. I think this one is actually one of my favorites, and I bet this could be completely irrelevant to some other people, but for those who care, that truly care, they will certainly notice and appreciate it, like myself. And it's very crucial, and I will explain it. Have you ever played a title that makes your character feel as if he has weight to him? When you walk and run, your speed is very gradual and the movement is very animated, if you will. For example, Ghost Recon has a very good concept, but the driving and the gameplay of your character is just not appealing at all. Red Dead Redemption, on the other hand, with GTA 5 or shit, even Helldivers 2 has a very good character movement system. You can't just simply move your cursor 180 and expect your character to move along with it immediately. It just doesn't work like that. In fact, your character will have to adjust with a little delay in time, which also impacts your recoil system because of that implementation alone. So the fact that Ardem implements that system to the game has a huge bonus in my opinion. Once again, some don't pay attention to stuff like this, but believe it or not, that alone creates a huge immersion. Because of that way being edited, the recoil along with how you handle your weapon will change drastically, and it does make a difference, believe it or not. Now, and number 2, you guessed it, the vehicle system. This one is extremely obvious, but indeed a great feature to have. You can store items in the back of your truck while seeing it firsthand. The resources you gather and items you collect throughout your playthrough are visible to you and other players, which creates that extra immersion, if you will. Once again, you want to put a fridge in the back of your truck? Go for it. Store generators or gas cans? Sure. And number 3, base building. This one seems to take a little inspiration from DayZ or even Dead Side, but it works and it works great. Dead Side takes it a bit too extensively. In my opinion, it's just too grindy, but based on my playthrough in Ardem, I don't think that would be the case for us. Building a safe place for you and your teammates takes a lot more than just chopping down trees. Just like in real life, you need different tools and different resources in order to puzzle things together. You need planks and you need nails, and the very same applies to anything else that you do in the game. While you're mining stone, you need a pickaxe. In order to make planks, you need a saw. Screwdrivers work with various types of items in the game, especially when it comes to assembling things together. Basically, you get the point. And number 4, we have environment and level design. Every vehicle you approach in Ardem has its own little spawn point. There is no such thing as no interactable vehicle in the game. It works very similar, if not identical, to DayZ, and it's just beautiful. And just like in DayZ, your car will need working parts in order to operate it, which means there is wear and tear system. I figure I just throw this one out there so you know. Environment seems to impact your drivability, although I should clarify that just a tiny bit. While you're driving, your vehicle animation seems to really be affected by your environment and its obstacles. If you're driving on the straight road, your vehicle seems to not struggle one bit, but then as you take off-road trails, then you can truly feel the tension between you and the steering wheel, if you will. Every place you visit in Ardem feels very special and single-handedly crafted. Something I'm truly excited about in Ardem is its new sewer system. It's not currently present, but it's being worked on, which by the way should be available in the next playtest. To my understanding, that is. I could be wrong, but nevertheless, they are definitely working on it. Once you get to the main area of the game, whether it's a big overcrowded city or perhaps even the main road, you could either traverse through the main city or take more of cautious approach and take the sewer line in order to get to your destination that way. Which by the way opens up multiple different opportunities in Ardem. In the future especially, they could implement sicknesses into the game, almost like DayZ. Just either way, the possibilities are limitless, and I'm truly excited for this. At number 5, we have variety of food. The best way I could describe Ardem's system is by comparing it to Project Zomboid, respectfully. Everything is lootable and explorational in the game, although during the latest playtest the loot system was extremely randomized and not polished. The overall idea is pretty cool and very immersive, and I'm sure once they really get their hands on it, that's when it truly will shine in ways we've seen in Project Zomboid. The weather system is currently not effective, however I'm sure once the game gets more love and support they will implement different weather conditions, which I could only imagine will impact your survival approach overall speaking. We should be getting the next playtest here in a little bit, very shortly, probably within a week or two. If you haven't wishlisted this game already, I strongly suggest that you do, especially if DayZ or even Project Zomboid were your thing. I've had my eyes on this game for some time now. I will certainly post more of these months to come, and I will certainly keep you posted as a community as this game undergoes its future development. You already know what to do. If you're new to this channel, subscribe and stay patient along with me as this game slowly undercovers itself. So this was your boy Roos, and I'm out. Goodbye.